Please don't do this or this, and especially not this, because it's way too dangerous. Okay, let's be real. Not every exercise comes with the same risk-reward ratio. But does this really mean that some exercises are dangerous by default, or is everything just a matter of preparation? Well, let's take a look at 5 popular calisthenics exercises and skills and find out how dangerous they really are. Number 1. Deep dips. The dip requires a hefty amount of mobility and stability, and if you're not prepared for that, it can cause pain in the shoulders or the sternum. Sternum pain often occurs from an inflammation of the cartilage that connects the ribs to the sternum. Shoulder pain, on the other hand, can have several causes, like shoulder impingement due to bad technique or a lack of shoulder mobility and stability. The deeper you drop into the dip, the higher the chance of irritating your shoulder joint or any of the tissues that cross the joint. This includes muscles, tendons, and even nervous tissue. To avoid these issues right from the beginning, follow these 5 steps. First, choose the right grip width. A too wide grip can be a pain trigger because it puts the shoulder into a more internal rotated position, and with that decreases the subacromial space. A shoulder wide grip width is the best option to make the deep dip a bit more shoulder friendly. Second, aim for the right joint alignment. So when you go down, retract the shoulder blades to give your shoulder enough room to move. Third, work on your mobility. Here I suggest shoulder and chest stretches as well as active mobility work for proper shoulder stabilization. Fourth, decrease dip depth. So if you feel any kind of shoulder or sternum pain, simply work with a decreased range of motion and try to increase your dip depth slowly over time. It is also recommended to lean your upper body a bit forward to get the safest and most stable shoulder position. And fifth, make sure to check our step-by-step workout guides that include in-depth videos with tips like these for every exercise. Our programs are designed as a day-by-day online course you can follow easily. So just head over to calimove.com and start progressing today. Okay, back to the dips. Summarized, deep dips are not dangerous by default and are actually useful for building shoulder stability and strength. They can also be very effective for hypertrophy training because of the massive chest stretch at the bottom. However, deep dips also come with some risks you should be aware of and prepared for. Exercise number 2, muscle ups. Similar to dips, muscle ups can cause shoulder problems, especially if they are looking like that. To be honest, this footage is the perfect example for this claim. When we filmed our muscle up tutorial, Sven did several takes of this chicken wing muscle up to demonstrate the mistakes. Right after this shoot, he got shoulder pain for over 3 weeks. To make the muscle up safe for your shoulders, it's important to control the transition. So if your muscle up practice looks like that, you should definitely take a step back and work with easier progressions first. It's also recommended to get comfortable with deep dips first to minimize the risk of shoulder problems drastically, so you can apply the same adjustments and tips I showed you for the deep dip preparation before. Exercise number 3, the human flag. The human flag looks impressive, but I've seen many people that got serious shoulder problems while practicing it. Most of the time the injury occurs in the shoulder of the lower arm, because this is the point where the most joint pressure takes place. Sometimes problems can also occur in the upper shoulder because this part has to be strong enough to pull your body into the horizontal position and stabilize it there. So if you're not strong or prepared enough, the load of your whole body could be too much for your lower and upper shoulder, and with that, damage your muscles, tendons, bursae and the whole shoulder capsule. To avoid this right from the beginning, please make sure to prepare your shoulders correctly. You can work with easier progressions that put a lot less stress on your shoulders. and do support exercises like wide handstands and hanging side pulls that mimic the shoulder position of the human flag. Exercise number 4, the back lever. The back lever is one of the easier calisthenics skills, but comes with a high risk for tearing your biceps if you're doing it with the supinated, aka underhand grip. The pronated, aka overhand grip, is much safer because it puts your biceps in a less vulnerable position while letting the front delts do most of the work. However, if you still want to learn it with this grip, maybe to improve your straight arm bicep strength for even harder exercises, I suggest preparing your biceps very slowly for this position. So make sure to strengthen your biceps tendons with other low impact exercises first, and then start with skin the cats or tucked back levers. Of course, the back lever is not the only exercise with this problem. The same counts for any other movement that puts your biceps in a similar position. So be careful when doing reverse biceps and pelican curls, as well as planche variations and Korean dips with an underhand grip. Exercise number 5, Sissy Squats. This is another controversial exercise and comes with a very high risk-reward ratio. The Sissy Squat is very good to primarily target the quadriceps with much lower glute and hamstring activity than regular squats. It can also help to build strong knee tendons as well as balance and control in the lower body. However, all these benefits can come at a cost. The Sissy Squat is no easy exercise and requires an exceptional amount of strength and control to be able to do it safely. And even if you do everything right, it can still be very tough for your knees. So it is really a double-edged sword. For some, it's not worth the trouble because you can also isolate the quads with more knee-friendly exercises like leg extensions, while others like the challenge and are willing to take the risk. When you decide to use or learn this exercise, make sure to hold onto something and/or practice the movement with a decreased range of motion first. Never rush it and always learn the proper technique. If you take your time and learn it step by step, the Sissy Squat can actually be a great exercise, not only for training your quads, but also for building bulletproof knees. One last thing, if you got a previous or existing knee injury, I suggest working with less knee taxing exercises like Bulgarian split squats and lunges. Alright guys, if you like in-depth exercise explanations like that, make sure to join our online workout courses for beginners, intermediates and advanced athletes. Just head over to calimove.com and start progressing today.